Shemai, welcome to Bitcoin Coffee Break, the show in which we have a quick look at the Bitcoin price and some of the other markets which may be affecting it. Bitcoin's at $7,906. It's down 1%. It's had a high of $8,034 and a low of $7,836. It continues to stay flat. This is largely on the decision that the SEC's postponement of the ETF decision. So it could either now go up or down, depending on further news from some of the sort of fundamental news which may come out. I would say that in the past, when the SEC has postponed an ETF decisions, this is for the VanEck ETF, the price has reacted negatively. So I think it's quite bullish that the price hasn't reacted negatively. But I mean, the price could really go up or down at this point. So it's so be careful. Let's have a look at the news feed. Anyone can now invest in Kraken if they fit the accredited investors criteria. So Kraken will open up their shares to the public. Bitcoin ETF update: SEC postpones VanEck ETF or VanEck. Oh, why did I say VanEck? VanEck ETF. But Bitcoin prices respond positively. Well, not really positive. Well, I suppose inaction could be positive in the Bitcoin price. Let's have a look at Ethereum, shall we? So Ethereum hasn't fulfilled the promise of the dead cat bounce because Bitcoin's remained stable. So Ethereum's remained stable. It's at $250. It's down 0.4%. It's had a high of $256 and a low of $247. Not much has changed at all, so there's not really much to talk about. I suppose with the dead cat bounce not being fulfilled, then you could arguably say that there's a symmetrical triangle kind of. Well, so it's not a symmetrical triangle, more of it. Sorry, a symmetrical triangle, like an upside symmetrical triangle, which could be forming, and that would be bullish, and that would give us, how much more would that give us? That would give us like, I don't know, an extra $50 on the price, which it could tick up by. So yeah, we'll see if that gets formed over the next few days. But I mean, if it is being formed, it's being formed off the back of the Bitcoin price, so it's quite synthetic. Monero, how's Monero doing? Monero is kind of, Monero is up 3.8%. It's at $91, had a high of $92.7 and a low of $87.7. Maybe this is some folks diversifying, getting bored because Bitcoin's been a bit flat, so they're diversifying into Monero. Or maybe there's some news which has come out. I should probably look that up. I'll look that up for tomorrow. On a sort of short-term 3-month, there is a not really an ascending scallop, but like there's a kind of a curve upward. So it is actually quite looking quite positive. It's looking like it's broken clear from that dead cat bounce. So maybe there are some gains. It'd be interesting whether the Monero chart goes anywhere towards predicting, what Bitcoin's going to do, with Bitcoin's going to go. But I would say that Monero chart's looking a little bit more bullish. Litecoin, how's Litecoin? Litecoin's still in its channel. It's towards the bottom of its channel, so I imagine it'll be going up tomorrow. It's at $90. It's had a high of $92.4 and a low of $89. But as I said in the past couple of videos, all these prices are so dependent upon Bitcoin. It could go either way depending on what Bitcoin does. Let's have a look at gold. So gold is still flat. It's low. It's down 0.2%. Let's have a look at the news feed. Gold prices slip. Stocks rebound as trade tensions take a breather. Well, they haven't really. I mean, they've slipped a little, but I would say that they're just pretty flat, really. So although gold didn't react so well to, or didn't react historically in the same way that it would have with the trade tension between US and China and the US stock market going down, gold should have gone up a bit more. It is now reacting to the news that the share prices are going up, and it's reacting negatively to that. So yeah, gold's not looking like a great hedge at the moment. Let's try the S&P 500. I saw on YouTube this is probably worth checking out. There was a video between Peter Schiff, the gold bug Peter Schiff, and Saifedean, Bitcoin standard Saifedean, and they were debating Bitcoin versus gold, and that was on Tone Vaser's channel. That's probably worth checking out. I only just saw the thumbnail for it, and I've penciled it in for watching it at some point today. But that's probably worth checking out. It did look pretty good. So I'm going to give that watch that and maybe have some insight for tomorrow, maybe, I don't know. Right, so the S&P 500, how's the S&P 500 doing? It's up 0.2%, so this is, as it reflected in the gold price, the S&P's gone up a little, and then gold's gone down. So let's have a look at the news feed, shall we? US, Europe stock futures shrug off tech tensions, market wrap. So, okay, Asian stocks mixed after Wall Street fall and Hawaii anxiety. Okay, China has a big currency decision to make. Oh yeah, I heard something about this. So the Chinese have pegged their currency. What's it? Oh yeah, so it's 8.3 to the US dollar, and now because their currency is getting strong, they're going to have to unpeg, and then obviously, I suppose, decrease that ratio, so lower that ratio, which would then mean that their workers cost more, which would mean that manufacturing would then cost more in China. So they don't really want to do that. They want to keep their currency quite low. This is the constant battle between managing a currency. So Bitcoin Reddit. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin Reddit. See what's going on. Yep, don't invest recklessly. I'll reiterate that. The 60 minutes Reddit post is doing well with 1.k subs. Anything on there from yesterday? Anything different on there? Let's refresh it. Look at that. I think I was looking at yesterday's Reddit. Was I looking at yesterday's Reddit? Yes, I was. Argentina, Bitcoin bought at 20k, retained more value than the peso. Okay, so in Argentina, if you bought Bitcoin at 20k, then you would have kept more of your money than the peso. And this is kind of the point, for much of us in the quote-unquote West, I suppose. We've got relatively stable currencies, so Bitcoin's not entirely necessary for us, but Bitcoin is very necessary in a country where the value of your currency is declining so heavily. The dollar is going to self-destruct. Talking Bitcoin with Ron Paul. That was pretty cool. And the Bitcoin clock says exactly 1 year until the halvening. Wow, that's nice. Well, so we've got 1 year until the halvening. So obviously the amount of Bitcoins which are introduced into the system will halve. And then that historically has always pumped the price up. And in fact, it's always kind of been priced in a good few months before the halvening. So I suppose from now up until the halvening, I'm sure some miners will be starting to I think they will. There's a tendency for miners, if they can, to hoard Bitcoin, because then they know that the price is going to go up, so they can then sell the Bitcoin for more, which then has the effect of limiting the supply synthetically. So, so we'll see if that happens again this time round. Expert SEC is still in information gathering mode regarding Bitcoin ETF. So this is an article on Torn Telegraph about the Bitcoin ETF and the VanEck Bitcoin ETF. And it's clear that the SEC is still information gathering. Technically, there are deadlines, but honestly, the SEC can do what they want. They can kick this can down the road till they're comfortable. It's clear from what we're hearing. So they just want people to be safe. The markets to be safe, because Bitcoin will be the new hot thing on Wall Street when there is an ETF, and a lot of people pour a lot of money into it, and they can't have that ETF lose those private keys. There is this kind of like idea that they can only postpone the decision making for so long, but they can't. They can just postpone it for as long as they possibly want. So in December of last year, the SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce, dubbed Crypto Mom. I thought Crypto Mom was Jack Mallers' mom. There we are. He said that the Bitcoin ETF is definitely possible, but could be years away. So don't discount the ETF. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. And it's probably to stop price volatility. It's probably a good thing that that people become uncertain about when the Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved, and they're not sure about when it's going to be approved. Because if the first ETF, which had been proposed, was approved, then that would have sent the Bitcoin price into a crazy parabolic upside bull run, and then that would have had a hard crash. So so it's probably a good thing that they're taking the time with the ETF proposal. This is a bit sad. Well, this is very sad, in fact. So, Indian Bitcoin trader commits suicide over losses trading crypto for local officials. So, this is the news story about an Indian trader, and he was bullied by a couple of cops to invest Bitcoin on their behalf, and then the price went down, and then the cops turned up and they wanted their money, which was like double the amount of Bitcoins which they got him to invest in. So, I mean, I know this is in sort of a region of the world where there is quite a lot of police corruption, but still, it's a stark warning that, when the price is going up and when you feel like you're a trading genius, because everyone's a genius in a bull market, it can be very tempting to trade on other people's behalves, and start, making investments on for family members or for friends, or people might approach you to make investments because they've seen that you've made money, but just don't. Educate people on Bitcoin's volatility and how it could go crash to nothing, and then educate them on how to buy them if they want themselves and secure them themselves. But don't buy and sell Bitcoin on other people's behalf. It's a dangerous game to play in such a volatile market. On that sober note, I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.